This is lesson 4 on page 55, Managing Tasks. You now have a project plan that contains a complete list of project tasks and their durations. Managing all the tasks in a project plan can be overwhelming, especially for large projects that involve many tasks. Microsoft Project helps you manage these tasks by organizing them into a structure that shows how some tasks fit within broader groupings and how the tasks relate to one another. Properly managing the tasks in your plan allows you to make a well-organized project structure that can be edited and updated quickly. For Project to create a realistic schedule for these tasks, you will need to create relationships between the various tasks. In this lesson, you will manage your project plan by organizing tasks into more manageable pieces and forming relationships between them. In this lesson, you will create a work breakdown structure, define relationships between tasks and describe task dependencies, and schedule tasks and manage constraints and deadlines. So topic A is creating a work breakdown structure. Now that you've added tasks to a project plan, you need a way to group and organize those tasks. In this topic, you will create and modify a work breakdown structure and milestones. The work breakdown structure, or WBS, is the hierarchical arrangement of the task list. Creating a work breakdown structure from your task list helps you organize your tasks and breaks down large tasks into smaller tasks. The WBS should detail the full scope of work needed to complete the project. This breakdown is essential for estimating project cost, assigning resources, and effective scheduling. Project progress will be based on comparisons between the actual work and the plan as detailed in the WBS. It is important to hone your task list into a completed work breakdown structure during the planning process. So, at the bottom of page 49, summary tasks and subtasks. A summary task is one that has related subtasks grouped below it. In the Gantt chart view, summary tasks are shown with bold text in the left pane and horizontal brackets in the right pane. Subtasks are indented underneath their summary tasks. So if I scroll up here, you can see planning the move, as I mentioned earlier, is bolded, and it comes up to the left edge of the cell. And underneath that, the subtasks are indented underneath that, not bolded. So this would be considered a summary task, and these would be considered subtasks. So this is just a grouping. All of these pertain to planning the move. All of these pertain to finances and insurance. You can hide some or all of the subtasks underneath a summary task for a high-level view of a project. Summary tasks can also be made into subtasks of a higher summary task, which is helpful if you have complex projects. For example, you can see finances and insurance, that's bolded out. It's also indented underneath household administration. So this is actually, all of these, you can see I can collapse them by clicking the triangle. All of these are summary tasks, but they're also lower level summary tasks. These are all sub-summary tasks, if you want to call them, of household administration. And then you can expand the summary tasks to show the subtasks. So it's definitely a hierarchical view of breaking down your project plan. If you wanted to create a summary task, let me expand all these again. Just for example purposes, let me add 3 new tasks to my task entry table. Kind of thinking off the top of my head here. So this project plan is the process, steps to go through when you're moving. Let's say you're moving to a new school district for regarding your child, and you have to transfer what school they're in. Maybe you have a task of, let's say, you have to first, in order to transfer, you have to disenroll from previous school. Then, oh, I have these manually. Let's auto schedule these. Put that to 1 day. Let's say you have to pick up immunization records from pediatrician. And then we'll do one more. We'll have register in the new school district. Let me just auto schedule these to 1 day because I have them new tasks manually scheduled. Let me change that. Okay, so I have 3 new tasks that I entered. Now, I don't want them to be part of the Vital Services and Records subtask, but right now they are because I just entered them at the bottom of my task entry table. Let's say I wanted to create a new summary task that summarized these 3 tasks. Well, first I need to select the tasks. So I can click 19 and drag it down to 21 so I have these 3 selected. Then what I would do, I would go up to my ribbon and select my task tab. And in my insert command group, it's shown as summary, but the actual name of the command is insert summary task. I can click on that, and it's going to group them together for me, and you can see it inserts task number 19, a new summary task, that generic kind of, placeholder text. With that selected, I can just type right over it. And let's say we wanted to name it Transfer Child School. Press enter. Now all 3 of these are part of that summary task. Now what I just did, you can see that this is actually still indented under Vital Services and Records. I don't want that to be a what we call sub-summary task. So what I did, I selected Transfer Child School, and on the Task tab of my ribbon in my Schedule command group, we have an outdent task. When I click this, it's going to move it to the left. So it's now not a subpart of Vital Services and Records. Okay? So it's all about, lining up the summaries here. Okay, but all 3 of these tasks now belong to this summary task. Okay, and page 50 in your book, the project summary task, at the bottom there. Every new project automatically contains a project summary task. All new tasks you add to a project will be subtasks of the project summary task. Project hides the project summary task by default in new projects. What a project summary task is, it's actually kind of a, how do I word this? It's a task that takes into consideration all of the subtasks of the whole entire project. So you can see the duration of 5 to 8 weeks before moving, 1,261 days. What the project summary task would do, it would take the entire amount of days for the whole entire project and give you the start and finish date. To show this, it's actually going to come up as task 0 in your task entry table. If we wanted to show it, I would go up to my Gantt chart format contextual tab, and in my show hide group, all I need to do here is check off project summary task. And you can see it actually names that project summary task the name of your project file. That's why it comes up as chapter 3 here. And it shows the whole entire duration of the project, 1,261 days. It's the same as task 1 because what they did in this particular project file is they made all of your tasks subtasks of 5 to 8 weeks before moving. Okay, so these are going to be the same here with the same start and end dates. But not all project files are set up like that. but the project summary would take into account every single task's duration and start to finish date and kind of summarize them into one task. Okay. Page 51, outline numbers. When you are working with complex projects that have a number of summary tasks and subtasks, you may find it helpful to see the outline numbers that Project automatically assigns to each task. Project uses a decimal outline numbering scheme to show the sequencing and level of tasks. It hides the outline numbers by default, but if you wanted to show them, same as the project summary, you could go up to your Gantt chart tools format contextual tab, and in your show hide command group, here we can check off outline number. And you can see it adds numbers to each task. The first summary task is 5 to 8 weeks before moving. Then it has a sub-summary task underneath it, so it's labeled 1.1. Then all the subtasks of that summary, 1.1.1, then 1.1.2, 1.1.3, 1.1.4. Then the next summary task would be 1.2, and it just breaks it up in a hierarchical numbering system for you. So you can easily see, which subtasks are part of which summary task and how it's broken down. Page 52, task notes. You can use the Notes tab of the Task Information dialog box to add other facts about a task. To do that, just ones that are already set up here. Remember, in your indicators column, the sticky note icon that's shown here indicates that there is a note already added to this particular task. So if I wanted to open up the Task Information dialog box, remember you do that by double-clicking on the task. So I'm going to double-click on Planning the Move. It opens up my dialog box for me. And if I go to my Notes tab, there has already been a note added here. This section prepares you to plan your move based on your timetable and moving requirements. So it's like you can have additional information about the task here that you could look up very easily. So you just type it in this bottom section and click OK. And when you hover over that little sticky note icon, the notes text actually shows up in a little screen tip there for you. So you don't have to open up the dialog box to read that text, just hover over it. Okay, so that's just, again, additional information regarding that particular task. Your next video will be Activity 4.1 on page 61.